Don in London, hello. It's June 6th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour. Outlandish sometimes, suppressed most often probably, by taking a drink or two. So alcohol, my substance of addiction, and these days I just don't drink one day at a time. And what helps me more than anything is knowing where I am today. So over the last few years, possibly because I haven't drunk any alcohol or tried to take the edge off or tried to deny things, I get a better chance of just trying to be myself during the years of drinking, simply because life was about making money, pleasing other people and looking right. So often I would wear a brave face or put on a brave face, brave things, work with my ego as my dominant part, if you like, rather than self-esteem or confidence, and have a lot of fear behind it, fear of being found out for something I knew not what. And it was probably fear of finding out that I wasn't good enough to be here in the first place. So much to do with lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, and little courage or faith. So the Fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, has been integral to my daily recovery. Family, community, friends, professional medical people have been part of my story too. And if it hadn't been for the intervention of professional medical people in sobriety, I wouldn't have found out I had type 1 diabetes, and then I would have died of malnutrition or something as horrible. And I wouldn't have actually got properly diagnosed with clinical depression. And at the moment, clinical depression is stable. I'm in a phase where things are okay. And sometimes, whatever the chemical imbalance and how it happens, I haven't really discovered what causes it, other than doing too much, too fast, too quickly. Life can be okay. So we are subject, I guess, to the vagaries of nature and providence. So like other people who don't have an addiction or a drinking problem or some behavioural aspect they need to work on, we get to be as normal as we can be, whatever normal is, and be restored to sanity. So on a daily basis I look for a bit more sanity in me, and then share my message of experience, strength, hope here on YouTube. And although I am part of the Fellowship of AA, I am not a spokesperson for it. So what AA does for me is simply this: it makes life possible a day at a time, have somewhere to go and share my good times and my bad times, and get a little wisdom from other people. So wisdom, experience, strength and hope is the name of the game. So what have I learned over the last few years? I remain unique, authentic me. Well, I'm finding out who the unique, authentic me is. All those things are to the good. And as other people in the Fellowship of AA are unique and authentic, I cannot speak for them, nor would I wish to. We are all different, with one similarity only, and that's the ability to sink back into the addiction that we had before. So the Fellowship is there to keep us on a better path of living, our own unique path of living. There are 720 meetings of AA in London, UK, every week. So I'm told. I've never counted them, but I go to quite a few. And at the beginning of each meeting we share a preamble which gives new people the understanding of why we're there, and people who have been around a little while like me, a reinforcement of why we are still part of the Fellowship. Now some people leave because it suits them and they've got other means which keeps them in recovery. Some people leave to go back to drinking because it's just too awful to see reality as it is. And some people just don't think it's their cup of tea, and that's all good, because as long as they're finding their unique and authentic selves and finding out how to be sober and live life, well, that's what I hope for them anyway. That's my hope. I cannot lead another person into recovery. A person gets into recovery because they have a desire for it, and this is what the preamble says at every meeting. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So, yeah, I go to meetings of AA, they help me understand my condition today, how life is working for me, or maybe life isn't working for me, how to deal with the good times and the bad times and the sorrowful times too, where we can be sad for whatever has occurred in that day and deal with it as best we can. So it's about avoiding denial, if you can do that. Yeah, I wonder if you can. I'm not too sure about that. Dealing with denial, dealing with our fear, dealing with not having to put a brave face on, and not utilising our ego to feel better about ourselves. So the whole programme, if you like, is about courage, faith and confidence, learning wisdom to face the reality of today. And for me, the spiritual part is seeing reality as it is. And as been said by others, what is spiritual is the ability to cope with life as it is and make the best of it. And that spiritual connection is about truth. So when God is mentioned in the programme of AA, how do I react to it these days? Well, I don't react in anger. I react or respond understanding that if there is a God, it's based on truth, and it's also based on love, and it's based on being a part of, included in the whole of living. So where do I get my wisdom from? Often people say God speaks through people, and that's their wisdom, or their lack of it. So we learn as we go. So God is truth, God is love, God is working through people, and that's what Gandhi suggested. Who knows? All we need to have is an understanding that we're not God, and then we've got a good chance that we won't try and do things in isolation, and a good chance that we will be included back into family, society, community, whatever it is that we feel is right for us, based on a wider and broader view than my own. So if I thought my world is my world and I'm the only one in charge, I suspect I would be back drinking, because I would be completely isolated and trying to do it without the help or being connected to other people. So I've said a lot already, and time flies, doesn't it? Daily reflections, every day a reading, and we're in the sixth month, and in the 6th month it's about the 6th step in this daily reflections. And the 6th step is about understanding our defects, or areas of development of character. My defects are very clear to me. They are fear, brave facing and ego, and wanting to deal with the shortcomings, not enough faith, not enough confidence, and not enough courage. So for June 6th it says here, all we do is try. Can he now take them all, every one? And that's talking about defects in God. In doing step 6, it helped me a lot to remember that I am striving for spiritual progress, and for me spiritual is being able to see reality. Some of my character defects may be with me for the rest of my life, but most have been toned down or eliminated. All that step 6 asks of me is to become willing to name my defects, claim them as my own, and be willing to discard the ones I can. Just for today, that is. And as I grow in the programme, many of my defects become more objectionable to me than previously, and therefore I need to repeat step 6 so that I can become happier with myself and maintain my serenity. So what is it about attitude and behaviour? We can go forwards and we can go backwards, or we can stay in the day. But the difficulty is that fear, brave facing and ego will always be utilised when we get a nasty shock, or somebody upsets us, and we don't want to actually listen to what they have to say. But it's better to listen to it, absorb it, and say, in response to what you say, there is probably some truth in it, and if there is some truth in it, I can do something about it. What I can't do is live in ignorance. And for those who say I'll never change, and ignorance is bliss, it's not. It's a way of defeating and defying the truth of ourselves. So for me now, I prefer courage, faith and confidence, accepting that I am not everybody's cup of tea, and accepting that I need change gradually and get a bit more serenity, just on a daily basis, just making simple progress. So, as I say at the end of these videos, the serenity prayer, exhortation to God, good conscience, or your higher power, or just an understanding of, I need to be doing this. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, again, always, just for a day.